$54 million. That's how much one man demanded over a pair of pants. Not a house, not a company, not a life-changing injury, a pair of gray trousers. And the worst part? The man who filed this lawsuit was a judge. This is the story of Roy Pearson and the immigrant family he almost destroyed. In 2005, Roy Pearson walked into a small dry cleaning shop in Washington, D.C. called Custom Cleaners. It was a family business run by Jin, Sue, and Chung, a married couple and their son. They'd immigrated from South Korea. They didn't speak perfect English, but they worked hard every single day. Pearson dropped off a pair of gray pants. Simple job. Get them altered, pick them up in 2 days. But when he came back, the pants weren't ready. The shop had sent them to another location by mistake. They told him to come back tomorrow. He came back, still no pants. He came back again. This time, the Chungs handed him a pair of gray pants. He looked at them. These aren't mine. The Chungs checked their records, checked the tags, checked the receipt. Everything matched, but Pearson refused to accept them. He said his pants had blue and red stripes. These didn't. He demanded over $1,000. The Chungs said no. They even offered him $3,000 to settle things quietly, then $4,600, then $12,000. Pearson rejected every single offer. And here's where it gets worse. Roy Pearson didn't just file a complaint, he filed a lawsuit. And he didn't ask for $1,000. He didn't ask for $10,000. He asked for $67 million. Then he graciously reduced it to $54 million. For pants. His math, $500,000 in legal fees for representing himself, $2 million for mental distress, $15,000 to rent a car every weekend so he could drive to a different dry cleaner, and the rest? Over $51 million to fund future lawsuits for other dissatisfied consumers. Now remember, this man was an administrative law judge, a person whose entire job was to understand fairness, proportion, and justice. The Chungs couldn't afford a defense. They were a small family shop. The legal fees alone were crushing them. People around the world heard the story and started donating. Nearly $100,000 poured in just to help them survive the case. The trial began on June 12, 2007. The courtroom was standing room only. And then something happened that nobody expected. Roy Pearson, the judge, the man demanding $54 million, broke down crying on the witness stand. He wept so hard the judge had to pause the trial. He cried over pants. 13 days later, the ruling came. Judge Judith Bartnoff sided with the Chungs. Pearson lost completely. But the story doesn't end there. Pearson appealed. He lost again. He filed another lawsuit claiming he was wrongfully fired from his job over the case. He lost that too. He was eventually suspended from practicing law for 90 days. And the Chungs, the family who did nothing wrong, they closed the shop. The stress, the lost revenue, the emotional damage, it was too much. They sold Custom Cleaners and walked away from the business they had built from nothing. Their lawyer said something that stuck with the media for years. He called the whole experience the American nightmare. One man's obsession with being right cost a family their livelihood, not because he was wronged, but because he couldn't let go. Sometimes, the person holding the gavel does the most damage.